Hi, I'm Bob Raddings of the Bob Raddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome into the WTIM morning show for our third and final segment of the Thursday. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We're talking to Taylor Pope in this one, 4-H Youth Development Program Coordinator in Christian County. Taylor, how are you today?
I'm good. My fair's over. I'm ready for state fair now.
Amazing. State's coming up. It's been a very busy. This is the culmination of your entire year this summer right here.
Yes.
How's it been? It's been smooth in Christian County?
You know, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't like nervous, but overall, like once the week hit, I was kind of like, oh, I'm good. Like I'm rolling through this. Like obviously, like you have like your first time, like there's mistakes and things like that happen, but you just kind of have to roll with it and just you can't stop moving because the show keeps going on.
Absolutely.
So we have to keep going.
We have to remind ourselves that it is your first year in this position, handling all the fair processes and operations. There's a whole lot involved there. So and just generally, did it go well out there at the Christian County Fairgrounds this year?
You know, I was really happy with how it went. I felt like a lot of the parents and the kids were really happy with how it went. So I felt like it was a successful fair for me anyway.
Great. And speaking of some kids with 4-H in both Christian County and Shelby County, they have a great time every single year. Even if things on your end aren't going well, they're spending time with their friends. They're showing their projects. They get a whole lot out of it. We're going to talk so much more about fairs and projects and showings in just a little bit here. You got some classes upcoming here, Taylor. Let's talk a little bit about Let's Make Salsa. This is a good one right here.
Yeah. So the Let's Make Salsa. This is on Friday, August 2nd, from 10 to 12:30, and this is actually Lisa Peterson. She's leading this. I'm just partnering with her, but we're going to make some salsa. I think we can have like 15 kids is what we're hoping for this. And I'd love to fill this class up. Yeah. They're going to learn about the canning process if they don't do that, or tomato season. Like my tomatoes are turning red, so I know everybody else's is. Yeah. And that way they know what to do whenever they're going to make salsa by the time all their tomatoes are ready.
Awesome. A couple of really good things to pull out here. Lisa Peterson, good friend of our morning show. And if you know Lisa, she's going to work in some good nutrition value and even the canning portion. The canning is really important there. Is she going to give the whole breakdown of how to properly can?
Yeah, Perfect. She is. I love Lisa Peterson's classes because she's so passionate about like what she does. And so like it makes the class more enjoyable when you know that someone also enjoys doing it as well.
Totally. It makes learning a whole lot easier there too. So when we're making salsa, are we going to be able to go home with our own salsa that we made?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I think because there's 15 kids, I feel like that each batch probably makes like 8 or so jars, so they should be able to take a little bit home. They could be quite a bit.
Absolutely, yeah. Mexican for dinner that night. It's going to be really, really fun. Awesome. Anything people need to know about registration? Are there still seats open for this one?
Yes, cool. Yeah, there's still seats available. The ages are just from 4th to 12th grade. If you're not sure, just give my office a call and we can probably work something out.
That easy.
It's only $10, a little bit more just because there's a lot more that goes into it. We're going to have onions. We're going to have, tomatoes, peppers, just the different things that go into the salsa making process.
Absolutely. One more time. Do you have that phone number off the top of your head?
Yes. Cool. Our office phone number is 217-287-7246. Awesome. They can also sign up online at go.illinois.edu.
Perfect. For all these, for all the great programs you guys put on. So usually go.illinois.edu/ whatever it is. So this time, Let's Make Salsa. Easy to find out there. And sign up. Plenty of seats left for that. Speaking with Taylor Pope, 4-H Youth Development Program Coordinator, running through a couple of these upcoming programs. Here's a fun one that I'm surprised is not getting the attention it needs. This Exploring Nature's Canvas Landscape Design. Break this one down for us. It's a good one.
Yeah, so this one is with Andrew Holsinger. Anything that involves like calling for me to be outdoors, like I prefer to be outdoors, especially whenever you've got like some nice weather, not like right now this morning, but on those nice days, like an excuse to be outside. And if it means like I'm working in my garden or just planting like flowers or things like that, like they're going to get to learn how to design their landscape outside of their house.
Great. Talk to me about age range for this. Is this open for everyone or is it just the kiddos?
I think the ages for this one is 10 to 18 is what our age on this one is.
Yeah, I felt like I could get a lot out of it, but I mean, this would be a
Yeah.
fun one to attend with your child if you were doing it, because
Yeah.
you can fully. I mean, there'll be like a rendering of maybe even your property. Is there? Can it get that specific? Can I bring in my own measurements of my front yard type of thing if I was looking to do that?
You know what? I don't think it would be a bad idea if
Yeah.
you were to do it, like, because you're gonna get like, there's a point where he'll kind of like set something up, and you can make your own, like where your house is and where you want to put your landscape. So I mean, if you brought in a drawing of kind of like the exterior of your house, you're like, oh, where do I want to plant some flowers here? Like, you can see that on a
Yeah.
piece of paper, and then maybe he can even give you some input on it.
Sure, all about shaping your outdoor spaces right there, and we were learning from Andrew. You kind of have to do that strategically, and of course, Andrew is involved with this one. Holsinger, our agriculture educator, right there. Good to have him
Yes.
involved with this one
Yes.
as well. Awesome. And Taylor, one more time with the dates, the times, and where people can go to find this one.
This one is Wednesday, September 11th, and this is a new date. We just didn't have any kids sign up, and I was just really wanting to give it another
Sure.
opportunity for the kids to sign up.
Yeah.
So September 11th from 4 to 5:30, and if you want, you can call and register at 217-287-7246, or you can register online and go to our website at go.illinois.edu.
Perfect, easy to find as always there. And Taylor, it seems like the programs are starting to slow down a little bit as the school season starts to near. I am being reminded of that science. This is totally off topic here, but that science blast that already happened, right?
Yes.
And how did that go? That was,
You know,
were
that
really
went
excited.
really good. I think the kids just love science camp in general.
Yeah.
You know, you got like the name was in it, the blast
Mhm.
part of it. Like, they had some like explosion experiments to really kind of make them fun. Like, I think they did rockets for one of them. They made their own rockets, which was really cool.
Yeah. On the topic of making your own things, getting involved in science, let's kind of move this conversation over to the fairs, because that's what that's what you've been involved with most
Yes.
definitely in the past couple of months. Here in the Miller Media Group stations, we've been out at the Shelby County 4-H Fair, interviewing these 4-Hers. They're inspiring, Taylor. You've been working around these kids from, I don't know what's the 4-H age, like is it 8 to 18? Is
8 to 18,
I
yeah.
got it
And
right
then
there.
Clover Buds is 5 to 7.
Even the Clover Buds got a good head
Mhm.
on their shoulders out there. Talk to me just a little bit about this, your experience this year at the fair, interacting with these 4-Hers out there.
You know, these kids are they're really inspiring. Like
Yeah.
you even said a little bit ago when we were talking before we were on air,
Yeah.
you mentioned that like these kids and their projects they're so creative.
Yeah.
There was one kid, I think he made a spray paint picture. And if you ever watch the videos where they like put the bowls on there and
Yes.
they spray paint around it, like I wouldn't be able to do that.
Mm.
But like seeing that, and whenever he was like talking about it, I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to be able to do something like that. I think there was some other projects that we had some really creative visual arts metal projects. There's a kid that made an eagle out of metal.
Yeah.
And I think I overheard him. He said it took like 30 days for him to make, because he had all the details of the feathers and it was covered. It was fully
Wow.
feathered. It was very heavy too. I
Yeah.
picked it up and I was like, whoa. There was another one he made. He made a rooster out of horseshoes, which I was half tempted to purchase that because
Wow.
I could have used that.
Yeah.
But
I find myself blown away just time after time by these projects, whether they're in, I got a 12-year-old telling me they did a welding project for the past 30 days and it looks absolutely amazing. It's
yes.
just so many different skills are being exercised during these 4-H
Yes.
years. Taylor, we're going to take a little break and we're going to speak more on these fairs and all the success these 4-Hers have found this year and all these past years. You've been listening to the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn and beans higher at this hour. Wheat trading lower. September corn up 3 3/4, 407.5. December corn up 422. March corn 436 1/4, up 4. August beans 11.14 1/4, up 3 1/4. September beans up 8 1/4, 10.68.5. New crop November 10.74 1/4, up 10 1/4. September wheat 539.5, down 7.5. December wheat down 7 1/4. 563 3/4. August bean meal 350.80. That's up 7.40. August bean oil 45.42, down 60 cents. Livestock market at this hour. August feeders 257.37, up 1/4. August live cattle up 20 cents, 187.10. In August, lean hogs 93.27, down half a dollar. Energy market September crude oil 76.52. That's down $1.07. I'm Jim Taylor.
Here's Cousin Bill from Illinois Paving.
Are you tired of grass in your driveway? Are you tired of buying rock every year, man? Are you tired of the grass and the cracks and the potholes? Or maybe you just need a better solution for your farm road or a large driveway in the country. Something cleaner, something neater. Illinois Paving has many solutions for many budgets. So call the crew today at Illinois Paving. We can help.
Do you need volunteer service hours for graduation? Do you have an itch for spring cleaning? Do you want to make a difference in the life of a child as a mentor? This is Shala Snagel, Executive Director at Kimmer Village. Kimmer Village offers volunteer opportunities for a day, a weekend, or even longer term. Contact Jan Trauber, our volunteer and project coordinator, at 217-226-4451.
Find out all the great things happening in the Pana area on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, Tuesdays from 8:40 till 10. You'll hear interviews with Pana area community, nonprofit, and business leaders each week. The WTIM Pana Morning Show is brought to you by these sponsors.
Our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, and Locked and Loaded Limited.
Pastor Brian Moore here from Locust Grove Church near Assumption. We are alive and so worth the drive. Find directions to our church and watch our video podcast by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Lauren Asali here, owner of Schaefer Perfetti and Asali Funeral Home, Taylorville's only locally owned and operated funeral home. We honor lives and celebrate memories. Find out all about our services we provide by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into the WTIM morning show, in the midst of it with Taylor Pope, the 4-H Youth Development Program Coordinator here in Christian County. Before we move, we got to thank our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We're streaming live on Facebook at Taylorville Daily News and on YouTube at WTIM TV. With Taylor in that first half, we talked about some upcoming programs with Exploring Nature's Canvas Landscape and Design. That's on Wednesday, September 11th. 4 to 5:30 p.m. And Let's Make Salsa class on Friday, August 2nd. Cost is $10 there. Go to go.illinois.edu for all of these programs right there. Taylor, did I hit all those all right for you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. We were talking, we ended our first segment right there talking about these fairs that Taylor's been very busy with in the past month here. But I mean, describe a day in the life of a person, a 4-H'er out there showing a livestock animal. I believe it was Wednesday at the Christian County Fair, but it's a long day and it even extends before that day even starts.
Yeah, you know, those families, most of them get there on Tuesday, which is the night of the weigh-in. So they'll weigh in, and then the next morning, like the shows start at 8 o'clock sharp. I mean, those kids are probably up at 5, 6 a.m. cleaning their animals, preparing their animals, getting themselves ready, you know, just to go out in the ring. And some of those kids, they'll have like, you know, 10, 15 animals that they're showing, whether it's in just one species, or I think there was one kid he showed in swine, cattle, sheep, and goat. Wow. Granted, he might not have had like an animal, but like he was helping with those kids, like, because some of them they show 2 in one class, so obviously they can't show 2 animals at one time. So like somebody will step in and help them out to show their animal, and it's
the parts of the relationship right there where we can talk about that in just a little bit. But the amount of animals that these kids have the opportunity to show up if they want to, and they really have a lot of options there. How much are you with 4-H involved with telling these kids, okay, that's too many projects, that's too many animals? Have you had to do that? I mean,
I have not.
Yeah, there you go.
It's really kind of like, you know, you encourage the kids to do what they want. Like, you know, that's how they learn to push their limits and see what they can handle and what they cannot. Yeah. So
there is something to the training of that, of your livestock animal, preparing it for show, showing it to the judges. That really does something to the development in these kids. Just talk to a little bit about that. What do you see these kids in development wise and how they just expand?
These kids have a lot of passion
Yeah.
with their animals. Like you can see it when they're showing out there. Like you could honestly probably just sit there and watch these kids and just like you can see that they're just zoned in and they're focused. Like you can tell that they really care about the animals too. Another thing that like you'll see a lot is like I mentioned a second ago, like, you know, the kids, they're always helping each other out. Like even though they're all competing against each other, they're still all rooting each other on. Like I think at the end of the swine show, I watched one of the girls, she won, I think the grand champion barrow, and like there were like several different kids that came up and they were like shouting for like, yeah, sweet. Like they were so excited for her and like they were all competing against her and like they were still rooting for her, which I thought was just really great to see.
It's true, genuine support they're showing each other. It's not, there's no catty competition going on. They really want everyone to succeed. And like I said at the beginning, a lot of these 4-Hers, when they were talking to us yesterday, and I asked them their favorite part, it was seeing my friends that I haven't seen in a while. And then I'm sure when they see those friends, they want to help them succeed. So it's all really cool. And when we're talking livestock, I mean, explain how things can go wrong for these kids. You got a 12-year-old handling a 1,000-pound cow out there. You've probably seen some funny things happen.
Yeah, you know, I don't think I saw any cows get away
Right.
on Wednesday, but like there's a couple times where a sheep would get away from someone and like you just kind of see all the parents and different people gather around the pen. They're just like waiting for this sheep to, you know, which way it's going to go. Yes. It'll be a couple of minutes sometimes trying to catch one because they're like, oh, I can't go this way. I'm going to go. They just,
It's an
it's kind
interesting
of funny.
opportunity for the parents to be hands off, kind of let their child figure out a situation and watch that unfold. How much involvement do parents have in 4-H? I mean, I'm sure they got to bring the kids to it, of course, but I mean, do they get involved, or do you see that hands off technique from a lot of these parents?
I mean, a lot of times, depending on like what show it is, like I'll talk about the sheep show, for example, like there was like there's a lot of sheep. So a lot of parents sometimes like, you know, like the show keeps going, like you don't have a pause, like you go straight into the next animals that you're showing. Like, so you keep moving, like you'll see a kid come out and they'll hand their sheep off to their parent. And then the parent will have like another sheep that they're taking out the ring. And then the parent's going back and getting another one to bring to the kid for the next one that's supposed to be showing. So like, you know, the parents help they are just as much like 4-Hers as the kids are.
Absolutely. So still superstars of the show over there as well.
Yes.
They got to put up with a whole lot. But talk to me a little bit about one more showing, the dog show. That one really surprised me right there. Another way for these kids to learn their animal and present it to the judges. That's something we had out at Christian County Fair?
Yeah, that was on the general show day. So Monday later in the day, I think it was at 2:30. We only had 2 kids show in dog, but they both showed in dog care and they both showed in dog obedience, which they both did amazing. They were very good. Like our judge was like, oh, these dogs are really good.
Wow, it's a lot of pressure.
So yeah, there's a dog care that's kind of like looking at their ears, their eyes, you know, their nails, making sure they're just like well taken care of, whether they have a little bit more weight on or not enough, like, you know, just their normal body composition, their coats, you know, whether or not they're brushed regularly and they're really soft. And then dog obedience. That was my first time I'd been to a dog show too. So you'll have like a dog sit there and they have to like hold it. And like the judge will kind of like walk around to try and like distract the animal kind of. And just to try and make sure that, you know, they're not getting up or they're jumping or moving their feet.
It takes a lot of practice. I mean, you can already just go into thinking how many hours these 4-Hers have put into it.
Yes,
absolutely. And you mentioned that, of course, Christian County, very strong with their livestock showings, but this year they showed out with the art. Lots of artsy projects this year.
Yeah, you know, there were so many projects that I was just like blown away with. I think there was another kid that made a welding project that it was a log splitter.
Really?
Yes. And so like it was kind of a stand-up project, and like you had like the little axe that sat in between it underneath, and all you would take like a hammer or something probably to like bring the wood down, and it would kind of like just split the wood. And I was like, that's a really neat project.
Cool.
And there's a lot of woodworking projects too. I think there was a birdhouse on one. I think it says home. It was home tweet home, which I just thought was adorable. I was like, I love that.
Perfect.
It had like shingles on it. And like, he was so excited when he was talking about the shingles. Like a lot of the judges, they every time they got done with like one of their kids or something, they were like, you know what? These these kids are so like they talk about their projects so well. They're so passionate about it. Like the detail and work that you can tell, like they're describing that they're putting into these projects is just really inspiring.
Absolutely. This 4-H program and all they do, just doing so much for their youth development there. And I'm really loving it. Taylor, thank you so much for taking the time today. And any final words for listeners, maybe a place they can go for more information?
You know, if you want to sign up for 4-H or you just want some more information about 4-H, you can go to go.illinois.edu, or you can call my office and talk to me at 217-287-7246.
Perfect. That was Taylor Pope, 4-H Youth Development Program Coordinator here in Christian County. And this has been the WTIM Morning Show.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.